Okay, let's go to my Treasure Tube page. That's my Tube page. I do have Station podcast now. Yes, and I did say, hey everyone. Today I think I will update. It's going to be about what I put in the story. I may tell you about doing something, but I'll tell you more about doing something today. No doing something. My story is about when me and Miranda are in a car. It's her iconic car. So in the car, we have this water spray that helps us cool down. Miranda, like I said, when it sprays, she's just completely naked. When it doesn't spray, she's only wearing her panties. Miranda has taken me to one of my dreams last night. So we're in our car. It's that time again. That went to hold on, peace up. So the last time I did went to the future and our future when Gabby said she was the one that met me. So this time when I went to the future, I saw Sesame Street. I said, cool, fake Bigfoot. After I'm there, I saw these flying cars. Debbie Wayne says, isn't this cool? It's just like the Jetsons. I said, it is cool. Debbie Wayne said, hey, Tim, I hate to tell you this, but I think Gabby left from Substitute. I said, where did she go? Debbie said, I don't know. And she was going to be your wife. I said, that's too bad. Debbie said, but me, I'm not going anywhere. So I got this ring for you. I want to ask you, would you marry me? I said, yeah. They were like, Debbie said, great. I said, hey, Debbie, baby, or whatever, I only have to be in the future for 5 minutes. They said, that's too bad. Maybe you can find Gabby. I said, yeah. So in the future, I went back to Miranda's car. I said, hey, Miranda. Miranda said, you know, we do have a trailer home, just like, and it's designed just like the iCarly set. We can make out in that fake car. I said, okay. Miranda went naked. We made out after a while. We're not making up. So on a fake car, Miranda said, let's go. Yeah, we went on the fake car. Miranda said, let's go to the built-in computer. I said, and then we did. I said, well, I think that on OKLA.com that she did put a music video with love. And then out of OKLA's site, I went to Where Disney. And I think Candace is not on here because she'll be taking a break. So out of AD and out of the computer. So Miranda, what do you think so far? Miranda said, I think you thought of a good story. I said, thanks. And this is the first time I'm putting this on my turn to. Miranda said, you know, I record Audacity. I said, I do too. Miranda said, aren't you going back to broadcast on your station thing? I said, yeah. When I said, great, because I might see the pumpkin globe. I said, I was on it on webcam. When I said, if, you know, if you touch my boobs, you might see a picture of you and me on the beach. I said, okay, and I did. So after I saw a picture, there you go, I had a picture. I said, okay. So I did, and after a while, and I picked it, there you go. I said, hey, Miranda, right now, I don't want to go back to the railroad. When I said, what do you want to do? I said, I think we can be on the webcam. We can do anything we want. When I said, want to touch my boobs? I said, yeah. After a while, I stopped touching my boobs. But when I said, it's time for my radio show, Miranda went on the air. Miranda said, I got music play. I said, and then after Miranda's radio show, there you go. I said, last time when I talked to Jeanette on the microphone, she was doing something for a podcast. When Miranda said, that's cool, I said, I think her last one was about when she interviewed someone. When I said, that's cool, tonight is naked night. Well, we'll have a party. It will be on the webcam. Since it's Friday, you can have cold. Maybe later you can have another one of the big. Chris Patrick did not go. I said, yeah, I can't wait for the party. Mina said, right now, my webcam is live. I'm glad to have you take play with you, because we are going to record. I said, I think we can record music and talk, and we even record us. It's Bob and honest Bob. When I said, glad you are here, I said, I am glad you're here, too, Miranda. Miranda said, isn't this interesting? Then just looking at stuff, I said, yeah, it is. I'll probably do it often. There are a few things that was still on audio. For now, I'll just hang with you, Miranda. Miranda said, you know what? I really love is for you to massage me. I said, okay. So, but Miranda heard a phone ring. Miranda said, hold on, I got a call. Miranda has a built-in iPhone. She pressed answered. Miranda said, hello? Oh, hey, Jeanette. Yeah, I'm just hanging with him. I'm about to get a massage. Get like one too, but when you get home. Okay, see you when you get here. Bye. And Miranda hang up. So Miranda got up on her bed facing her back to me. I said, so Jeanette's coming later. Miranda said, yeah. I said, anyone else called you today? Miranda said, no, just Jeanette. I said, cool. Did you check out my ladies stream on the Facebook? Miranda said, yeah, you have a nice room. Do you always get good chatty Westman sitting by you? I said, yeah. And sometimes I play with him. When I said, cool. I said, I saw Penny your dog on the iPhone audio. Maybe just one time. Yes, for some time. When I said, okay, let me get my dog, wrote and dog Penny. And called Penny. And when I called Penny, we saw Penny. After a while, we went hang up. And there you go. I said, thanks. Hey, I know I had still on Facebook. But a bit, Ringlet went said, yeah, we could take cars like Jeanette still does on your stream. I said, yeah, even in real life she does not do that anymore. But in this life she does. Ringlet said, yeah, good thing I'll stream now. I said, I know you do it from your room. Not like in your place, like you do in real life. Wanda said, yeah, so keep massaging my back because it feels good. And after a while, I stopped massaging Miranda's back. I said, I'm getting hungry. And knowing the story. Wanda said, me too. I'll drive my car while I'm naked. I said, okay. Wanda said, and now already, we already have the original. Yes, we already have the original Taco Bell cup and the new one. We don't need any more cups. I said, maybe Taco Bell would just give us the white one. Amanda said, and then we went in Miranda's car. Miranda said, let's go. So Miranda got off the bed and we went in our car and said, you ready? I said, yeah. We went to Taco Bell and got us food. And then after we got food, we went home and got out of the car. So after dinner, Miranda said, I got a great idea. It's private. It is a private land. I will stay naked. Why don't I drive us to land? I said, okay. Miranda said, no, my rain, but let me inside. So I just press Funland and we're on a ride. It'll take time to get there, but we can have fun. I know you heard me on right one time that I caught some scary numbers. I said, yeah, I did. And one what? When I said, that scary number was 666. That was a scary number. I said, did you know there's a Rico's the Clown number? I said, yeah. I said, I saw people call that number on YouTube. When I said, yeah, that's not a scary number. DJ Rick from Mayo Kill. 18775 DJ Rick. I think that's what his voice was, because on the air, on the Mayo Kill. I think Steve James had sent too already with his name. 18775 DJ James. Steve James had sent, yeah. Miranda said, I think I called, Miranda said, I think I called both those names before. I said, cool. Miranda said, I've never been to that hole where it takes you to the future, the not to future. I said, well, it only happens once in a while. So that hole is not there now. One said, cool. Well, I'll call did that, to get stopping. But not anymore. Now just take us to land. I, I said, well, Miranda, I do have to go back to real life in a bit. But if you still have that disco ball for my car, I'd love to take you to the dance. When I said, I do have that disco ball for my car still. And guess I'll definitely go and dance with you. For my car, and guess I'll go and dance with you. I said, that's cool. Because, wait a minute. That's cool because we haven't done that thing. We haven't done that in a while. When I said, I guess we can go to the ring or so on webcam. And I kind of steal. I said, yeah. When I said, cool, maybe Kento, I am a random like that. I said, yeah. When I said, cool, so come later we can have that part. I know it's not really that I said, yeah. When I said, we'll see how it's supposed to had that husband's party going. Yeah. So I gotta go right now. I'll be back on supper. That is what I put so far. And I know shorts, my entire arm where I got naked and showed her boobs to me.